Hey guys, iExplore here, and today's video I'm going to be talking about why aliens are not real. I know, sounds shocking, right? A lot of people there like, hey, aliens exist, aliens are in the sky, aliens are everywhere. I'm like, aliens do not exist, and I will tell you in this video why. Before we get started, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the video to your other friends that think aliens are real, because I don't think they are. Let's get into the video. First, starting off, a lot of people, they say, hey, the pyramids could have been built by aliens. I say, no, they could have not, and I'll give you a few reasons why. Firstly, one thing I need to address is, in ancient Egypt, you don't really know how many people were there, right? And so many textbooks, they say between 30,000 to 100,000 slaves could very well be in Egypt, but there is no specific number. And so because there's no specific number, it could have been between 100,000 to a million slaves, and that is a lot of manpower to build the pyramids. So for the engineers that complain these modern days saying, hey, we can't build this, and we don't know why or how it could have been built in the past. They're just really relating with the technology that we have today, but they're not talking about the technology that we had in the past. So you really didn't need any technology in the past because, of course, you would have the manpower to actually build the pyramids. The second thing I need to address is, well, many people say, how did they take the blocks all the way up to the top of the pyramid? And I'll simply explain to you. The first thing is, there are many different animals that have existed way before our time right now that have gone extinct. And a good example of that is the woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth is a giant creature similar to an elephant that used to live in Siberia and northern parts of Europe. And so huge animals like that do have the capacity and capability to take very heavy blocks of limestone all the way up to the top of the pyramid, right? So there is some knowledge that we don't necessarily know about, and so that could very well potentially be a possibility of how the pyramids were actually built, and it could not have been alien. And if you look it up, a woolly mammoth is about 2 times the size of a normal elephant, so they most definitely have the capability to carry limestones all the way up to the top of the pyramid. The second thing I need to address is, well, people say, well, what about the Orion star alignment of the pyramids? Well, my argument to that is, well, if I take 3 sticks and throw them down in my backyard, they'll point to 3 stars into the sky, right? And so these constellations, they're just, alignments of stars, and you just kind of draw lines between them. But essentially, if I just throw 3 sticks into the ground, they just look up at any star in the sky, and I can also say, hey, my sticks, they point up to 3 things in the sky, thus my sticks are built by aliens. It's not a logical argument, right? So essentially, 3 pyramids in Giza, looking up at the sky, forming the Orion alignment or star constellation, does not indicate aliens, right? Because that Orion star alignment is just some stars with some lines drawn between them in a certain pattern, and that is not concrete evidence. Now finally, to address one more thing, many people say, well, what about the UFO sightings all around? They're very well misinterpreted in the wrong ways, right? So for example, you may see a drone in the sky, and you may think it's a UFO, but simply it's just a simple drone someone's maneuvering, right? And there's other natural phenomena that people say. So like on top of the Seneca Lake, sometimes there is a hump on top of the lake, and some people say, hey, it's a ship submerged in the water. And I would say it's a natural phenomenon because fog will naturally settle on the lake, and you can have that hump effect where if a certain amount of fog denses up in a certain area, some of it is thick in one area, some of it is not thick in another area, thus creating the hump on top of the lake. So addressing all these arguments, essentially builds up my case for why aliens are not real. Now to support my argument, we have something called the Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox essentially talks about how there's a random number of stars and constellations in the sky. Now with this, there is a very small chance that there's life elsewhere in the universe, just due to the number of random outcomes and the number of crucial steps that are needed in order for life to begin. Firstly, with us, for us, the main base of all humans and all things around us is carbon. Without carbon, you cannot have any living things. So for that reason, life here on Earth is thriving due to carbon. Now, anywhere else in the universe, you don't have all water, you don't have direct sunlight, and you don't have carbon in some areas. So due to that, you can very well tell that there is some very critical and crucial steps needed to take in order to generate life in a different area. One more thing that you guys might suggest is to look at the Drake equation. The Drake equation was developed by Dr. Frank Drake in 1961, and it's usually used to predict the amount of extraterrestrial life in our universe. Now, there's many different outcomes that you get from this, including the one that we are possibly alone, right? So this really states we don't know whether aliens are out there, but there's a very high chance that we are most definitely alone, right? And a lot of the variables in the Drake equation are multiplied by each other, so if one variable is 0, the rest of them are also 0. All these cases really support a strong argument as for why aliens are not real, right? Aliens, we would like them to exist, we would like to see other life other than humans on Earth, but essentially that is not always the case. And of course, there's very, very crucial steps that are needed to take place in order for life to thrive on a planet. And it's not very simple. You need light, you need water, you need carbon, you need all the other elements to build up human life and other forms of life as well. One thing I can for sure tell you guys is there is most definitely a higher power up there. And one example I can give you is this. Without a builder, there are no buildings. Without a painter, there are no paintings. And let's say, for example, you see a building, you know that it could not have been built without a builder. You look at a painting, you know that it could not have been painted without a painter. So you see all these creations of life, trees, plants, mountains, dogs, puppies, cats, everything else in creation had to be created by something. And it does not come from just a small little thing that explodes, right? There is a creator, there is a something to spark this huge burst of life, and it cannot just come from something, because something cannot come from nothing, right? You always need something there to create something. Understanding that it's most definitely something out there, right? Something that makes us all unique in different ways. And a good example of this is our fingerprints, right? Everyone has a unique, different fingerprint, and no one's is the same, right? And so for that reason, you can see that there is most definitely a creator out there, most definitely a higher power living amongst us. If you guys think something else other than my opinion, leave it down below in the comment section and let me know. If there are any other videos you guys would like me to make, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll let you know about those as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next one.